นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังธัมมังสังฆังนามัสสามิ A couple of days ago, after the morning puja, which has a very few people participate. So Long Po asked me something about morning pujas, and so we started talking about how the old days of Amaravati look like. So he suggested that I should give a talk concerning the winter retreat because the winter retreat of Amaravati has a strong connection with my practice. And I first came to Amaravati in 1987, that's about 23 years ago, and I didn't know anything about this place, and so I first came when the winter retreat is about to start it, and I didn't make any booking or in advance. And the guest monk told me that no, you can stay just only one night, and tomorrow you have to leave and go somewhere else because the winter retreat is about to start, and so we don't accept guests. So I got a special permission from Luang Po Sumedho to stay just for a couple of days, just after the New Year. Which I was due to go back to school. So and I came to Amaravati because of it's during the Christmas break, and somebody gave me the address of this place, and so I didn't know anything about Buddhism or practice, even though I came from Thailand, and even though I am Buddhist just by birth certificate or by registration, and also I grew up in Catholic school, so I didn't know much about Buddhism. And my family, they are not keen on to practice. So they come to the monastery or just for the ceremony, but didn't have much practice in meditation or anything. So I didn't know anything about the meditation or monastic routine. So on those days, it's very strict. Like we hardly have any space for our own. So like we do the morning puja start at 4 o'clock. And then until 6:30, which is quite a long period. And we have a community breakfast every day. everyday community breakfast, and after the breakfast, so we have group practice until the meal time, and then in the afternoon also group practice from 1 to 5 o'clock, and then evening puja. So that very solid structure for winter retreat, and so Luang Por made it very serious about he expect that everybody has to be on time and has to be has not to miss the schedule. So I as a lay supporter group also, we don't have our own space or our own room. We stay in the dormitory, big dormitory, so which has no central heating also. I personally got the benefit from that mode of practice very much. So I didn't know anything, but I had to follow along with the group was doing. So at the beginning, it's quite hard for me to sit or to meditate, but just because of the power of the group, the power of the community practice is so strong, so that helped me quite a lot. After just when the school was open, so I decided not to go back to school. So by that time I decided to stay on and helping with the lay supporter team, which I was enjoy doing it a lot. Like it's something that I discover myself. I found myself that this is what I enjoy doing it. Just to stay in the monastery and helping in the kitchen, and which is quite hard work on those days, as we don't have the gas cooking gas system. We use the firewood mainly, and we have a big stove which serve as a cooker and also as a boiler for hot water also. And only the sala has a central heating. So we have to keep the boiler running start from 3 o'clock. So when I decide to stay on, so they gave me this job to look after the boiling system. So I have to get up at 3 o'clock and start the fire. So make the sala ready by 4 o'clock. And also the shower just behind. We have the shower block of men and women behind the kitchen. And on those days is very very tough practice in terms of accommodation and facilities, and Luang Por also he will give the talk at any moment that he feel like. He will give if he feel somebody do something that is not good, not correct, so he will give the admonishment right away, and sometimes it can carry for hours in the morning puja, evening puja also, that also Luang Po will give talk. So Amaravati just depends very much on his on Luang Po's guidance. So he's a kind of a supreme commander. So he run the whole place by his own. So like we don't have meeting or any discussion, or Luang Po always makes the decision. So and on the Makha Puja days also we have the big gathering from the monks from Chithurst, from Hanam, and from Devon. So they all came for that big gathering. So it's the first time also I saw lots of monks and so they come, and many of them and were trained by Ajahn Chah in Wat Papong, and so that the first generation of Western disciples of Ajahn Chah, and so they regard the Makha Puja day as a kind of a Sangha gathering, and so as what they do in Wat Papong those days. So we have on Makha Puja day, so the monks from all the branch monastery of Wat Papong come to pay respect to Ajahn Chah, and so the head of the monks, the heads of the branch monastery will give a talk. Each one of them will give a talk, and so now we change to the Ajahn Chah funeral day. So we have the big gathering. So but like we had last week that but just only Chithurst came. So on that day, so I saw many monks from that were trained by Ajahn Chah, and so they gave the talk relating how their experience in Thailand, and how which inspired me a lot, and that made me to have to rethink about what I'm going to do with my life. So instead of going to go back to school, so I decide not to. I decide that I better practice meditation, and so they speak so many things, that very good thing about the Thai society, what they have received from Thai society, that is the way of looking things that I never seen it before. So the way that they learn from village people and basically just monastic life is in the area that I never seen it before. So I decide, and I remember when on those days when we finish any kind of meeting, so we will, for the monks, only the monks will pay respect to Luang Po first. So just only the group of the monks, and then when the monks finish bowing 3 times to to Luang Po, and then the nuns and lay people, and so start to do, we do later. So, and I was a lay supporter, so I sit on the back, I sat on the back of the sala, and I look at the way the monks, the group of the monks bow to Luang Po, and so I got a very strong inspiration, and I just told myself that I want to be in that group of the monks, in that group of people, and that was on the Makha Puja day when I saw many monks, and on those days nobody call Luang Po Sumedho Luang Po, or they call him Tan Ajahn, and only him was, only Luang Po was Tan Ajahn, and all the rest. So we start as Ajahn because they just only 10 Pansa over. That's the Ajahn, over 10 Pansa is the Ajahn, and Luang Po is only monk that got over 20 Vasa. So he was 22 Vasa by that time. 22 Vasa, and so the people start to call him Luang Po, which means Venerable Father, a few years later. So after the Makha Puja day, so I approach him and ask him whether I can join the Sangha. And Luang Po just he looked at the diary, and he set the date of my ordination straight away. So after the winter retreat, I found myself as an Anakarika. So and that was how my monastic life was started, and I never looked back. And so what can you, so and have you ever asked yourself, so many, like you've been practicing meditation for years or months, or just for 10 days, or for 1 week, or 20 years, or how really you make progress in your practice? What is the result of your practice? How can you tell? So, but for me, I can tell you that what is the result is I start to see thing as a anything that happened to me as a mental object for contemplation. No matter what is good or bad, or any kind of situation, and so which is I gladly admire. This is a basic teaching of Luang Po Sumedho, and so always anything that happens, always see it as a mental object, and then I start to contemplate it. And also it's about his teaching was concerned very much about the four requisites and the gratitude. So which is also the something that I never think of it before, and so when I first listened to his Dhamma talk, and he said about the way we use, on those days we're not allowed to boil the kettle in the vihara. So if you want hot water, you have to walk from your vihara and get it from the kitchen, that which we have. We put water in the big pot, and so we put the pot on the stove, and that way we get the hot water. And so we're not allowed to have the kettle in the sala or in the vihara. So and I remember one monk just boiled the kettle, and so Luang Por just gave him some admonishment and he because on those days we was in heavy debt, and so we cannot afford to use a lot of electricity and heating system, and Luang Por talk about the love, the gratitude of the four requisites, about the food and the roof over the night, and these things that which he still talk about, put very much emphasis on, and this thing is the main thing for the life as a monk, as a samana. So a sense of gratitude for the four requisites that we receive from lay supporter, and also the teaching and the guidance, meditation guidance that we receive from the teachers and from our lineage, and Dhamma Vinaya, and the Dhamma and disciplines that we practice according to the teaching of the Buddha. So the gratitude bring a lot of good quality for the mind. So it helps to calm the mind down, and easily to get concentrated, to get to one-pointedness. That is something that I never realized it before. When I first came, so everything I start wonder how this thing happened. Like I came here, just the main reason is this free boarding and lodging. Somebody told me that when he gave me the address of Amaravati, that you can fly, and so you don't, if you during Christmas time, if you stay in the hotel, or and that you have to pay quite a lot of money. So and it's, so if you come here, you pay for nothing. And so I start wonder how this thing happen, and people are so generous. And when I first came, and I arrived here around 2:00 in the afternoon. So I entered the sala, and first person I met is Ladda. the first one I met is Ladda, and she is so generous to me, and so and that also the first time in 4-5 months that I have a chance to speak Thai. So and then when it's on Sun, I stayed a couple of days later. So on weekend, so lots of Thai and Sri Lanka people came and bring a lot of food and other requisites. So and on those days, on the weekday, hardly anybody came, and so the food is quite rough. So we don't make any fancy food, or just very simple, very basic. Just the for the vegetable, we just boil it and steam it, and that because we don't have a gas cooker, so it's quite and the stove, the wooden the stove that filled by wood is quite it takes long time to heat it up. So we cannot make so complicated food. So on Saturday and Sunday, so we have a quite good food, but and also we didn't have choice. So we didn't have choice. So we didn't have choice for the food. So we just go on the line, and so people will scoop the food and put in our bowls. So we have all the same everything. So we cannot pick and choose, and that what we like to have, and that was a very good teaching. So and I gained a lot of benefit from that. And in my monastic life, and from 87, 88, and so I hardly had any experience with a different tradition, or even different teachers, and so I remain most of the time with Luang Po Sumedho and practice under his guidance. So, and because I realized from the very first day of my practice, and got a strong confidence in his teaching, and so after years of practice, and so I can see the people comes and goes, and different teachers, different style of practice, and as a Amaravati, we always kind of open up for every possibility, every tradition, every style. I didn't have any interested in that, in even in the our Theravada tradition, also Thai tradition. So I hasn't got much chance to stay and practice under the different Kruba Ajahn. So I spent quite a few years at Wat Pananachat, the international monastery that the first one that the Luang Por Sumedho established, and so I found myself as a kind of to do the secretarial job in the office. So I hasn't got much chance to go somewhere else, and also in here. So I stay close. I stay as a secretary of Luang Por Sumedho most of the time. So I hasn't got much experience in the different traditions. So I don't know how do they practice, but for myself, as I told you before, that anything that happened, so you see, anything you see is as a mental object, and as a thing for contemplation. Any doubt, any curiosity, anything, so you see it doesn't have any. It doesn't have any essence in it. So it just comes and goes, and so what is remain is just a stillness of the mind, is a calm of the mind. So on the reflecting on using four requisites and supporting of the teacher, so I feel enormous gratitude, and that this help to, so then the mind just stay still and calm and don't go anywhere. So this is my third time on this high seat, so it's quite in staying in Amaravati. So what inspired me, and when I first came here, is another thing is like we do everything by our own. Like we have big workshops, and so then one of the monks is very good at doing with the carpentry work. So I help him with just to carrying things, and so that also inspired me, that I found myself that I really keen on doing carpentry, and also making ropes and using sewing machine. And one monk, he asked me to help him with the measurement of the cloth material. So which I didn't know it before, that we have this style of life, and like making our own things and our own requisites. And so that's also the first time that I asked him that whether is it the possibility of joining the Sangha, and so and then have so I learned so many things that I never think of it before, like a computer. So like when computer came very late, but then as we try to save our money, so we call if something go wrong with computer, and we call the technician from Hampstead, and that the core up charge on those days is the core up charge is 35 pounds. So, and when they lay the hand on computer, that they start to charge another rate. So, but the core up charge is 35 pounds. I don't know how much on this day, and so that's why we try if we want to save money. So I have to learn and try to do it on my own. But for giving a talk, so I really have opportunity. Larry have an opportunity to. This is a third time in my monastic life that I have a chance to come up to this seat, and for giving public talk is another skill that I have to learn. So yeah, thank you very much to bear with me. So I hope that you can understand what I am talking about, and I never done any meditation teaching or any conduct the retreat, or so but then I hope that in the future I will have more chance to come up to the to do the teaching role a little bit more. And as I remember one morning I cleaned up Luang Por's kuti, and he told me that I think he never told anybody. I haven't heard he told anybody this thing. And he told just one morning he told me that, Panya, today my monastic day is longer, one day longer than my lay people days. Like he was about 62 or 63 years, and so like he done his monastic life one day longer than his lay life. So, and he said, now my life fully belongs to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So I spend my monastic life longer than my lay life, and so that's quite amazed me. I was ordained just one or 2 years, and I couldn't imagine how I will stay as long as him. And when I first came here, also I helped one of them, the second senior from Luang Por Sumedho. I helped him with some things, and he speak fluent Thai, so and he told me that he was in Rome for 18 years, so that quite long. For me it seemed very long, very long time, and so I remember that my hair stood immediately when he told me 18 years. And so I imagined what did I do on those days when I was 4 years. And he became a monk. And so I was 22 years then. By that time was 22 years. And now when I counting the calendars, counting the years, so I found myself, I spend half of my life, I spend half and half as a monastic and lay life. So and the monastic life is keep increasing and increasing. And so I first came here when I was 22 years, and now, and I took ordination straight away, and now I was 44 years, coming 44 years. It means that I done half of my life with the monastic. So I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of you, the monastics, the monks and nuns and anakarika and also lay people, not just the people who are in this temple, but everybody that help to make my monastic life possible. And nowadays we have MP3, we have CD, ROM, we have internet download. So I hope that when people hear this talk, so I hope that they will understand my message, and if they look deeply in their heart, so they will see that my love, my respect, and my appreciation is in there. Thank you very much. May all of you receiving the blessing of my life. Thank you.